Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Sports Kings NFL Weekly Prediction Show. I am your host, Mean Gene. We are streaming live here on YouTube, and we are going to get ready and jump into Week 12. Let's start with my man over to my right side. Could be left side. I don't know. However you're looking at your TV or your PC. Jacob, I couldn't find my Jersey Meadows.
What is up, Mean Gene? What's up, everybody? What's up, Dustin? It's good to be back. Another week of show, man.
All right. Hey, and the man below, who I don't know. You know what? You have as many jerseys or T-shirts as Jacob does, Dustin Pfeiffer, who is sporting another Carolina Panthers shirt today. Covers the Carolina Panthers and the Charlotte Hornets. My man, Dustin Pfeiffer. What's up, Dustin?
I mean, listen, I got to bust these shirts out. I don't know if y'all know this, but there's a chance that the Panthers are going to be playing for first place next week. So it's alive and well here in Carolina right now.
I know it. And you know what? Since Bobby is somewhat part of a show, we have to kind of introduce Bobby too, right? I mean, he's a faithful. So what's up, Bobby? All right, guys. Well, look here.
What's up, Bobby?
It is week 12, and look, what 5, 6, 7 more weeks of NFL regular season left, guys. I guess Sunday was one of the most competitive, exciting days in the NFL as 5 teams, okay, you're going to like this, Dustin, 5 teams recorded a game-winning score on the final play. Let's start with Carolina, the Chicago Bears, the Denver Broncos, Houston, and Miami. They tied for the most in a single day all-time since, I guess this happened back in week 10 in 2023, and I think it happened again week 4 2018. But, man, guys, 43 games with a game-winning score in the final 2 minutes of regulation or in overtime this season. That's the most ever through week 11.
Nuts.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane. I mean, I think this year, and guys, you correct me if I'm wrong here. Obviously, there's some top dogs out there. I mean, you got the Eagles and the Broncos and teams like that, Colts, whatever you want to say. But I think this might – we talk about parity in the NFL every season, but I think this season, I mean, there's really not a true favorite out there to where when we get to the playoffs, it could be pretty wild.
Agreed.
It could be pretty wild, and as we break these games down, especially when we get to specific teams here, I mean, look here. I mean, look, now, work with me on this one, guys. There's a possibility, or let me just raise the question. Could you imagine an NFL playoffs this year without the Bills, without the Chiefs, and without the Ravens? I mean, it could happen.
It's a beautiful world.
It could happen. I'm not throwing Buffalo out that mix yet, but you're right. Ravens, Chiefs, they got some work to do. And again, I mean, we're talking about the top dogs. Obviously, the Eagles are the defending champs, and they've only got 2 losses. But every game they're winning is a 1-score game. So it's not like there's just that one team that's dominating from week to week.
No, it's not. But I mean, it's just an interesting year. And the reason why I said the Buffalo Bills, because they got a big game tomorrow night we'll get into here in a minute, and of course they have another date with the Patriots, so who knows where it clearly looked like at one time only one team would come out of the AFC East, and that still could be the case. It depends how much separation New England gets. So but hey, guys, how about
I'll take it one step further, Gene. You said what was it? How many games that were about field goal 3 or 4? Was that what you said?
It was like what 5?
There were 9 games total that finished within 1 score.
Wow.
So I mean, just think about that. What was it? 15 games last week. So I mean, over half of the game's final scores were all within 1 score. So it's crazy what we're seeing in the NFL right now.
And you know what? My favorite part of the day is the witching hour on Red Zone.
That's right.
The witching hour
when wins become losses and losses become wins.
That is so true. If you ever watch the NFL Network,
Shout out Scott Hansen.
A lot of people don't like it because it's a fast-paced moving thing.
Oh, it's the best channel out there.
But it's the best channel.
Put the remote down. You don't have to do anything.
No, I mean, you just sit there if you want to watch score after score after score. All right, guys. How about some quick NFL news before we get into these picks here for Week 12? All right. I got 3 topics here we can sort of come in on before we get into the picks. We got the Browns, Shadir Sanders situation. Not so much the break-in of his house, which is another story within itself, but just how the Browns kind of handled things with Shadir Sanders. And then I want to talk about the Jamar Chase suspension and how much that's costing him. And then I don't know if you know, but CD Lamb and George Pickens were benched for the first offensive play of that game versus the Raiders. So I just want to talk about these stories. We'll start with the Shadir Sanders one because, and my question, guys, to you is: did the Browns set him up to fail? He completed his first 2 passes, but not much went right after that. He went 4 for 16, 47 yards with an interception and was sacked twice. Finished with a 13.5 passer rating, and we know what happened at the end. The Ravens won 23-16. So, I mean, Jacob, your thoughts on how they handled Shadir Sanders in a number 2 QB situation?
So, from an administrative standpoint, I think the Browns absolutely failed Shadir Sanders. All of this nonsense coming out where, he had never taken a rep with the first team. You were talking about this deal where the offense was it Wyatt Teller, his veteran offensive lineman, was saying he didn't know his cadence because he had only heard it once or twice previously. Like it's absolute nonsense. And for Shadir to come in, and statistically speaking, right, like he did not have a good game. It was about as bad as it could have gone for an initial showing in the NFL. Shadir played a lot better than his stats showed. I mean, you take away 3 or 4 drop passes, the Browns probably win that game. And the entire mantra around Shadir's first start is very, very, very different. So I've been on Stefanski's bandwagon, right? I like Kevin Stefanski. I think he's a good coach. I think he absolutely fumbled this one. If all the reports coming out are true, and Shadir, as the QB2 for the Cleveland Browns, has never taken a snap with the first team prior to this week, I absolutely think that Stefanski should be, witch hunted, right? Like there's no reason for that to ever happen. And I think that he wildly failed Shadir in terms of preparation for a potential start at some point, especially with Dylan Gabriel going down with an injury.
Yeah, listen, I mean, I don't think it's just, I mean, Stefanski is involved in this, but it's an organizational failure. It's not just Stefanski. We're talking about the GM. I mean, I don't even know if the GM to this day, wanted to have Shadir Sanders on his team, and the owner, and they're going back and forth of who decided they wanted to make this pick to finally draft him and things like that, and then just to see, like he said after the game, that he hasn't had a rep with the first string. It's just a weird situation. And I mean, I think we've said it. I've been hard on Dylan Gabriel, but I think Jacobs kind of said it too. I'm not sure what quarterback would kind of succeed right now in Cleveland, with the weapons they have and the kind of way they're handling it. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I mean, obviously, if you're a Browns fan, you've got nothing else to look forward to this season. So you might as well see what Shadir Sanders has in hopes that he can show some flashes, and then maybe they finally start to handle that situation better. So it'll be interesting to see how he plays. And if you're Shadir Sanders, listen, you've done a lot of things wrong, regardless of how the organization is setting you up. If you go out there and just say the company line, hey, I'm out here to work hard, I'm out here to try to get better. In the end, most of the blame will probably go to the Browns. So that's what I'm saying. Like, Shadir, don't put yourself in a situation to where you bring more of the blame back on yourself. Just go work hard, keep your head down, don't say anything crazy, and just see what happens on the field.
You know what? And both of you guys made great points. I shared with Jacob before we got on the air. I've been around, and I know you have too, Dustin. I've been around 3 NFL teams training camps.
Yeah.
The Bears, Chargers, and the Steelers. And I specifically do remember when I was up at Pittsburgh Steelers training camp when Mason Rudolph got drafted. He was out there with the first string offense, even though Big Ben, was your quarterback, right? So it's just crazy. I just think that should just be part of any team strategy. Now, it's different if he was the third string. I can see the third string quarterback not taking reps with the first string offense, but you had already elevated him to number 2, so he should have been out there. There's no way that an offensive lineman is going to give an excuse of I didn't hear his cadence, because you should be. even if it's just a couple of sets during the week in practice, that made no excuse. But it's the Browns. I don't know. It's just the way they find. It's a reason why they have had 41 quarterbacks since 1999. It's just and that's a shame. Okay, but hopefully we'll see he gets to start this week, and we'll talk about that a little bit later as well. All right, Jamar Chase suspension. This is costing him let's just call it $500,000. Okay, this one game suspension for spitting on Jalen Ramsey of the Pittsburgh Steelers last week. So guys, look,
cost you too, Mean Gene.
Yeah, on fantasy.
So what now?
It cost you too on fantasy.
Yeah, it cost me, and I'm not upset about that as I am is about a grown man spitting on another grown man.
100%.
Because I can tell you right now, and I'm gonna try to say this in the nicest way. Anybody that spits on me, I'm gonna F them up.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, that's just you don't do that. Okay, that's just not the worst thing you can do.
Yeah,
you can call me names, but you can't spit on me. So, what do you think about that?
Listen, I agree with you 1,000,000%. That's like there's a lot of things you don't do. I mean, we could talk about a lot of things, but spitting is one of the most disrespectful things you can do to somebody. And Mean Gene, you talk about Tomlin and should it end in Pittsburgh and all that's a bigger conversation. But I don't know if you saw the quote. They said, what did you say to Jalen Ramsey? And he said, hey, if a guy spit on me, I told him to act natural and do what you think. Like, I'm not going to fault a guy for how he reacts for somebody spitting on me. Like, should you punch somebody? Probably not. But, like, that's a natural reaction when somebody spits in your face that you're going to get them away from you. So I love how Tomlin handled that by not criticizing Jalen Ramsey. And listen, if you're Jamar Chase, I mean, come on. You're one of the best receivers, one of the superstars in this league. Like why are we doing that? Your team – probably not going to happen, but they're trying to battle back into a playoff race. Joe Burrow is back in full practice today, which was a surprise. Like, you've got good things coming your way. Why would you set them back with something else? It's a terrible decision by Jamar Chase.
Second time this year we've talked about this,
it's
guys.
Awful.
Yeah, that was the point I was going to make. This is the second documented suspension.
Happens way too much now.
Nolan Carter in week 1 against the Cowboys spit on Dak.
Jalen Carter.
Jalen Carter,
the other Carter. Yeah. Jalen Carter.
Crazy.
Right? And it's nuts. Did Dak spit first? Yes. So that was a whole weird thing where two people actually spit. And now we're here with a second spitting suspension.
It's just,
so Spitgate's wide open.
It's just crazy, man, that we talk about mess like this. So, all right. But now the other surprising thing, and I did have a chance to talk with Dennis Sharma about this. He's the world's biggest Cowboys fan, is why was CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens not on the field for the first offensive play in that Cowboys 33-16 win over the Raiders? So I guess they talked to Brian Schottenheimer, and he said he made a coach's decision. Reason there were some things missed. Okay, guys, I'm assuming that they probably missed a team meeting, and I can see that when you're in Las Vegas because there's a lot of distracting things, like Jacob.
Yeah,
right.
2 words, Las Vegas. You said it right there. You said it's surprising. Not surprising to me. When you get out in Vegas, crazy stuff happens. Like, should I have missed it? No. And I props to Schottenheimer. When he first got hired, I kind of was like, the Cowboys are like this. I won't say premier because they haven't won anything, but they're one of the brands, right? Mm-hmm. And to hire somebody like Brian Schottenheimer, I know his dad was a great coach, but that just didn't seem like a fit on a team that's such in the spotlight. But I think Brian Schottenheimer, their record's not great, but I think he's done a pretty good job this year. He's got this offense playing well, which he's an offensive guy. Mm-hmm. Even though George Pickens set out, Gene, you can say this from the Steelers days. I've never seen George Pickens play like that. He looked like the best receiver on the field, and that's including CeeDee Lamb. He was breaking tackles after he caught the ball, running over people. I have him on fantasy. I've never seen him play like that. No. And again, the Cowboys, they're 4-5-1. They're in the hunt. And I just think, will they make the playoffs? Maybe not. But I think I have to give Brian Schottenheimer credit. He's done a better job with this team than I thought he would.
I'm on board with Dustin with that. I was not a big Schottenheimer fan going into this season. Admittedly, not a big Cowboys fan. I've given him a ton of props on the show this year, but I'm not a Cowboys fan, just like Dustin. But Schotty's done a good job in Dallas. The offense it's moving and grooving. Dak looks good, and George Pickens has been an absolute superstar.
Gonna get that payday.
Yeah, exactly. And they're talking about wanting to keep him long term. Pickens is interested. Des Bryant posted the other day with some, like, it was actually a very wise thing. I'm a big Des Bryant fan, by the way, but Des posted, he messaged Pickens. It was like, look, dude, like, you got to understand, like, don't always go for the biggest bag. You don't want to be the most paid if you want to be on a team. The Cowboys are a legendary team. They've had legendary teams. Like, if you take a team-friendly deal with the Cowboys, you can stay with the CDs and the Dax, and they can build around you, and you can have something special there. It was a really cool tidbit by Des Bryant. I think it was on Instagram. But no, Brian Schottenheimer's done great, and it props to him for benching his two best players for that opening drive.
Yeah.
Now, Gene, you've seen this before with players, and obviously you've seen it with Pickens in Pittsburgh, where he was very inconsistent. The question will be, is this just to get a payday, and will he continue this after he gets paid? We asked that question with a lot of players who were out there trying to get that next contract.
And he's only there for a year. You know, he's a free agent at the end of the year, so Dallas has an opportunity to have two stellar wide receivers, you know, sort of kind of like Higgins and Lamb there with Cincinnati. Higgins and Chase, I'm sorry. But will they do that? Because, I mean, you know how Jerry gets when it comes to money. But real quick, hey, we all know that Schottenheimer didn't bench those guys without calling Jerry first, right? Because there's no way Jerry's going to sit up there in that skybox and look down and like, what the hell is going on?
This is Jerry right here. What happened? They missed a meeting, and you want to do a series, right? As long as you don't go over a series, I'm fine. You go more than a series, then we got a problem.
Yeah, we got some problems here.
That's Jerry.
So you get their asses back on that field quick. So, all right, guys.
Anything else stick out to y'all, Gene? How about Aaron Rodgers, you know, with the partially broken wrist? I know it's non-throwing hand, but that's a big storyline.
That is a big story. And you know what? Mason Rudolph came out in relief and did very well. You know, I mean, he's a true veteran quarterback now, been in that organization, even though he left for a little bit. I think things were handled pretty well there, thanks to the defense, right? So, but that is a big story. And I think, look, I just think if you're Aaron Rodgers, you're 42, 41 years old, you take every precaution that's available. And it's going to be interesting to see how the Steelers handle that. But I'm not expecting them on the field Sunday.
And the last couple of big things that I saw, we'll get to the picks right now, just real quick, was last week, and we'll get into it when we start picking these games. The Rams and Sam Darnold has 6 turnovers in his last 2 games. Like, it's something we got to keep an eye on. And then the other thing too was, you know, 2 teams that you mentioned, Gene, about possibly not being in the playoffs that we never would have thought about. One is everybody on the show picked them last week, was the Detroit Lions. They are currently now sitting out of the NFC playoffs. And then on the AFC side is who you mentioned. It's the Kansas City Chiefs, who are now sitting at 5-5. I'm not sure any of us would have imagined before the season started that in week 12 that the Chiefs and Lions would be looking outside of the playoff picture right now.
Well, we didn't have the Chiefs winning the division, but
you had them outside, Jacob.
I have third in the division. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. And
third in the division is a good division, though. Did you have them out of the playoffs completely?
No.
I did.
Oh, okay.
I didn't think. You know, it's one of those things where I thought that it might be possible for them to creep in on a wild card, which is still statistically
still. Yeah, a lot of stuff's gonna have to happen, and we'll cover it, you know, in these picks, because there's discussion around a lot of these games, you know, why some of these teams will need to win. So, all right, let's get with the rules of the games here. If you've never watched this show here, thanks for joining us. Okay. It's our weekly prediction show. We have rules on this show. We have fun with this show too. So, and we give you a lot of information. We do our lock of the week, which is fun. That, you know, that's we just we're confident about this game, and we're sure to make the pick. So when we do that, you hear the drum roll, and of course it wouldn't be fun if we didn't pick an upset, right? So you got to pick an upset, and this week 12 guys, it's tough. This was a tough matchup here to pick an upset. So can't wait to see. That's the upset sound when you hear that. And before we jump into week 12, let's go back to week 11. And this is, look, because Dustin, this is going to be my first time seeing this, because we didn't discuss these today. Like
I didn't send these out today, so we'll have to grade them on the fly here.
God, let's So is this is the right one, right?
This is the right one. So
All right,
I was 10-5, me and Gene 10-5, and Jacob 9-6. And shout out to Icky 11-4. So he beat us all last week.
I gotta tell him.
So you got to let him know that. But this between
Wow.
us three, it was a very close competitive week, all within one game. So not a lot of movement in the standings. Gene, you were 0 for 2 on locks. I mean, you had Atlanta as a lock and you had Minnesota as a lock. Those were 2 L's. And Jacob pulled an upset with the Bears, while I pulled an upset with the Panthers. So, again, not a lot of movement there. Everybody over 100 wins now. And
Unreal.
Jacob is sitting 4 games back, and Mean Gene out of first is 8 games back.
I haven't seen any prediction show, and I can throw out some names, and I'll throw CBS, which this has nothing to do with our buddy Brian DiArdo's group. This is the other CBS guys on TV there with Long and I think the other reporters. These guys, nobody's nowhere near 100 wins on those shows that I've looked at. So, I mean, look at us. We tell you this every week. You know, even at 102-61.
Yeah, that's strong.
Yeah, you know, I'm 40 games over 500. Come on now. So you know, you're winning some money, you're losing some. Dustin 110. That's incredible. And Jacob there. I mean, we know what the hell we're talking about.
I mean, I just want to let you two know, you keep saying that y'all are going to make a run. Well, it's getting late early. So you might want to start making some bold predictions here to try to get some games back.
Yeah, I know we're gonna have to get our stuff.
Listen,
together, so.
I'm happy I'm in first place, but I want to say this on air since I bitched and moaned about it in our group text. I am still cannot get over how I lost fantasy football this weekend. For people who don't know, I was winning.
Gave me that graphic. We could have put it up.
I should have put it up. I lost by 0.05, not half a point, 160.25 to 160.20. And the reason I lost is because Dak Prescott took knees at the end of the game and brought me down, and I lost by 0.05 points.
And then he's going to complain to the commissioner, which is me, that I should change the damn rules. When a running back loses yardage, you get that negative, but you get the
running back is losing yards by being tackled by somebody else. My guy is losing yards because he's winning the game and running out the clock, take a knee.
Lost yards.
It's happened to me before, man. Aaron Rodgers got me years ago when he took a damn knee in a game I needed to win. So that's the first time I said, "Are you kidding me? I'm going to lose a half a point."
I'm still in the playoffs, but it's going to take. What is it? Today's Wednesday. By Friday, I guess I'll have to be over it and move on to next week.
All right. So, all right, I consider changing the rules. Look, I gave you got field goal kickers now getting 20 damn points. What else
you do? You do. I got Boswell. He's putting up some points. So
okay. All right, guys. So it is time to jump into week 12 of the NFL. We're going to get in here and make our selections here. And oh man, it starts right here in H-Town, okay, with the Thursday night football, Bills at Texans. Texans trying to gain ground in the AFC South. Buffalo's trying not to lose ground in the AFC East. Jacob, I'll let you go with this one because you're homegrown there.
And Jacob, before you go, I'm gonna let you go too because you're homegrown. Let's mention the 4 teams on a bye. We've got the Denver Broncos, we've got the Miami Dolphins, the Los Angeles Chargers, and the Washington Commanders. So not sure if the Broncos wanted to buy guys the way they're playing 9-2. But the Chargers, after a bad loss to Jacksonville, probably wanted to buy. And then the Dolphins and the Commanders, they probably want multiple buys. So just wanted to throw those 4 teams out there. But Jacob, big game. Your Houston Texans are trying to climb back in. Give us your thoughts from Houston.
It's a big game. It's at home at NRG. Dalton Kincaid is out. Keon Coleman is out. Buffalo has been inconsistent. Their defense is dog water. Gene, throw the upset graphic on the screen.
Wait a minute. Is CJ Stroud back?
No, Dougie Mills is the starting
quarterback. Oh, my God.
We're going upset already?
Upset of the week. Dougie Mills is going to carry that battle red flag into battle and come out victorious. Now, I am not ultra confident in this pick. It is just historically Houston's been good against the Bills. It's in Houston. Houston's defense is playing at an elite level. And if Houston can put together a almost average offensive performance, they can win this game. The only offensive firepower the Bills have are Josh Allen and James Cook. And that's
pretty good.
It's a lot, but it's not as much as most other teams, right? Most other teams, you have receivers you have to account for. You have a tight end you have to account for. There's something else there. The Bills' offensive line is not great, albeit better than Houston's, but the Bills' offensive line is not great. And all they have is a Hall of Fame quarterback and a very good running back. So I think if Houston's defense can clamp down on Josh Allen, I absolutely think it's possible. Dougie Mills threw for almost 300 yards, a touchdown, and no picks
against the Titans.
Yeah, no, you do not have to tell me that. Yeah, it was not against a good team. It did not win by very many points. They couldn't get the run game going against Tennessee. The Buffalo's got the second worst run defense in the league. If Woody Marks and Nick Chubb can put anything together on the ground and give that offense any sort of balance, I think Houston has the better team.
Okay, Dustin, what do you think about this pick?
Well, the better team is that's strong. I don't think I can go there. I'm not gonna hate on your homer pick, is what I'm gonna call it, because foreshadowing down the road in picks, I might sound crazy as well. But to say stuff like the better team and Dougie Mills, I can't get on board with all that. Like, did they beat the Titans and do what they were supposed to do? They absolutely did. But you mentioned it. What was it, 16-30? Like 16, you can talk about the Bills not having firepower. Josh Allen had a total of 6 touchdowns last week. So the 16 points is not going to get it done against the Buffalo Bills. No. If CJ Stroud was playing this game and Houston Texans 5-5, and one thing I do agree with you on, Jacob, is I do respect the hell out of their defense and what they have, but it's Davis Mills. It's not going to happen. Give me the Bills to get a win.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you, Dustin. Jacob, it breaks my heart to go against the Texans because I want to see them get quality wins. But look, man, they're going up against a team who is in a must-win situation for the remainder of the season. Yeah. The Buffalo Bills thought they would be in first place, even with a 7-3 record at this point in the season. They're not. They're looking up at the Patriots. They cannot afford to lose this game under any circumstances. And that's 16 points. You see what Buffalo put up last week, 44 against the Buccaneers. So I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills also, Dustin, to win this game.
Yeah, I mean, props to Houston to get back to 5-5. They put themselves back in the race, but this is just a tough spot right here.
Y'all are talking about the Bills like they're the only must-win team, though. If Houston wins this and they continue playing well, but
it's a must-win game without their best player, Jacob. That's my only point. Like, do we know when CJ Stroud's coming back?
Next week. He could have come back this week, and they're playing it safe with him.
I mean, look, it's going to be.
Why would you play it safe against? Why would you not, like, you're 5-5 against Buffalo at home? Why would he not be out there if he can go?
Davis Mills is not playing.
I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this next game, Gene. We're not going to spend more than 30 seconds talking about Davis Mills on this show.
Here we go. Jets at the Ravens. Ravens have won 4 straight games. Okay, 1 game behind the Pittsburgh Steelers in the AFC North. Tyrod Taylor has been named the starter for the Jets. I tell you what, I don't know. The Jets. What can I say about the Jets? Let me go ahead and just start with this one first, okay? I got the Ravens. The Ravens are gonna win this game. I don't know what the Jets are gonna do long term here. They're close to probably getting the number 1 pick, but there's a lot of other crappy teams out there too that's gonna challenge them for that number 1 pick. But they got to get it right. I think there was a stat I had saw. What was it at the half? I think Justin Fields was like 3 for 5 for 23 yards. I'm like, are you kidding? This is an NFL quarterback. You got to be kidding me. I mean, it's horrible. So give me the Ravens.
Yeah, listen, I'm gonna put the lot graphic on the screen, Gene. I am going to lock in the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, let me get my sound effect.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get you right. Drum roll, please.
Yeah, listen. If you're I appreciate Aaron Glenn switching quarterbacks, trying to change things up to give the team a boost. You've won 2 out of 3 games, so at least you got some wins. But the Jets don't want to win this game. Like you just mentioned it, Gene. It's a dogfight for that first overall pick, and they need the highest pick they can possibly get to get this thing continuing going in the right direction. So the Ravens getting back to 500 finally, you couldn't ask for a better spot to get the Jets at home.
Hello.
And they're looking right at the Steelers to try to catch them. So the Ravens are going to win this game pretty handily.
Yeah, I don't have any actual commentary to add. I'm taking the Ravens full throw. It doesn't matter what their spread is. Take it, right? Ravens are a much better team.
It's 13.5.
13.5. I'd probably take Baltimore 14 points, right? Like the Jets don't want to win, like you said, Dustin, and it makes no sense for them to win. So Baltimore all the way.
All right, next game, guys, is
look at this one.
Pittsburgh Steelers will be at Soldier Field taking on the first place Chicago Bears. So
wild.
Here's two division leaders. So this is an automatic good game here. One of the games to watch this weekend is you got two division leaders. Bears have won 3 straight. First place in the NFC North. Steelers will be, perhaps right now, unless the news change, will be without Aaron Rodgers. So, Dustin, what do you think?
The Bears are only favored by 2.5 in this game, so it's going to be interesting to see about that. You know how we have these seasons and you have these teams where, not saying they're not good because the Bears have been a good football team, but the bounces just seem to go their way. That's the kind of season that the Chicago Bears is having. It's how Gene, you talked about it 2 weeks ago against the Giants. You didn't even know they won that game. You look up at the end and you go, wait a minute. The Bears won that game, and now here they are. They've won 7 of their last 8 games, and once again they squeak a close win out last week, like against Minnesota. They just find a way to do it, and to be in first place and to be at home at Chicago, those fans are gonna be insane. And with Rodgers banged up and probably not playing, and Mason Rudolph, I just think the role's going to continue, and give me the Chicago Bears to get to 8-3.
All right, Jacob.
I love that, Dustin. Gene, throw the lock graphic on the screen.
Oh, okay. All right. We really. You coming out.
Now you notice he didn't lock in Davis Mills though.
Hell no, he's a neck above the competition, but I'm not touching that. It was an upset. But no, I like Chicago in this one. I think Ben Johnson's the clear-cut number 2 for Coach of the Year right now behind Mike Vrabel for pretty much the same reason. Ben Johnson's done a good job. And like you said, Dustin, this Chicago Bears team is one of those where it just seems like luck favors them this year. Yeah. And that's not taking it away from anything that they've done. Caleb Williams has played markedly better, right? That offense has played markedly better. Rome Odunze is an absolute stud. DeAndre Swift has completely turned his career around, which it's not like he was ever in the dumps. But, Ben Johnson drafted him in Detroit. He believed in him, brought him to Chicago. Now he looks great. So I really like Chicago. I do not like Mason Rudolph leading the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? I'm not high on the Steelers, and I was wrong about them last week. Should not have taken Cincinnati to upset them twice in a row, but I don't think that Pittsburgh's got it in them to beat this Bears team. The Bears defense is better. Yeah, it's about a wash. And Mason Rudolph is not a better quarterback, and their offense, the Pittsburgh offense, is not a better offense. I'm going to take Chicago.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're the Chiefs, but remember how the Chiefs won all those one-score games last year? That's what the Bears are doing this year.
Yeah. Yep. Look, guys, Ben Johnson is doing an incredible job, and Caleb Williams is one of those quarterbacks that the expectations were very high. It didn't see a lot of this in the rookie season, but man, it just seems like every once in a while you get a head coach and a quarterback combination that works together and are effective. And it seems like they have this in Chicago. And as much as I don't want to go against my Pittsburgh Steelers, I mean, I have to just really look at this. I mean, Soldier Field is not an easy place to win. I mean, it's outdoors, it's cold, it's next door to the Lake Michigan. So Pittsburgh is used to those kind of elements. But man, the Bears are riding high. So I'm okay with Mason, but I just think the Bears got so much momentum going. They're first place in the NFC North. Yeah. I mean, that's crazy, right? So give me the Bears.
If you see the comment at the bottom of the screen, Bobby's trying to give you some advice, Gene. It says, Mean Gene better pick the Steelers to catch Dustin. So give you one more chance. Do you want to flip that?
You know what? Let me give Bobby a little bit of credit too, here, guys, because Bobby, I played Bobby this week in fantasy football, and he just mopped me off the floor. As a matter
Well,
of
that's
fact,
not saying much, right, Jacob?
In first place. He's in first place now, so he's feeling look good by himself.
One quick thing I want to touch on before we go to the next game that Jacob brought up, and we can do one word answer so we can keep it moving. You mentioned Coach of the Year and how Ben Johnson's up there. I'm looking at the records. You said Ben Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
You said Mike Vrabel with the Patriots. You've got Shane Steichen with the Colts. And then if you even wanted to throw in somebody like a McVay or something like that. So one word right now, who's your Coach of the Year?
I like Vrabes.
Gene?
Steichen.
I'm going Steichen. I mean, like Vrabes, what he's done in the Patriots to get it, but Steichen with Daniel Jones and how they've had that turnaround, I still think he has to be the front runner.
Yeah, that's who I'll go with, guys. All right, let's move it right along here. And speaking of Icky there,
Vrabes.
Icky, who had a great week. Icky, if you're watching the show, man, we appreciated you. And Dustin said you finished, 11-4?
11-4, shout out.
So you did better than all of us, so we got to get them back on, right? So
yes,
that's pretty good for a guest pick, right? All right, guys, this game right here, interesting here. What we have here is the Patriots at the Bengals. New England have won 8 straight games. The Bengals have lost 3 in a row. Yeah. Dustin, what do you like here?
Yeah, that again, what Jacob said, I was off on Cincinnati. I think Icky just had me fired up on the show last week, and I took the Bengals. But that game, I think, kind of put the nail in the coffin for the season. Put you to 3-7, on life support with the way the AFC is, the Chiefs and all these teams that are battling to get in, and you're below them. I don't see you passing all those teams. Now Jamar Chase does what he does. It sucks because Joe Burrow seems like he's close to coming back, and you want to hold out some hope. But sitting at 3-7, and I know Burrow practiced full, but I don't think he's expected to play this week. I guess we'll see. But even if he plays without Jamar Chase, I'm taking the Patriots. And again, it just stinks to have kind of another wasted season of Burrow, Chase, and those guys. But I don't think they're recovering from 3-7. So give me the Patriots to keep rolling and get to 10-2. They're 7-point favorites on the road.
I'm gonna take the Patriots too. Jacob.
Yep, solidly agree with you guys. Braves moves to 10-2, solidifies as Coach of the Year bid. Jamar Chase is out. It doesn't matter if Joe Burrow plays or not. He hasn't played in months, right? He's not going to come in and play savior today or this week. There's no way. So,
all right, moving right along here. You know what, guys? Giants at the Lions. Once again, it's bad timing for the Giants. Their schedule, whoever made their schedule, they were not really thinking about their success this year. So, look, bad timing. Why? It's because the Lions lost last week, to the Eagles. So, I mean, that just hurt. That's a big NFC game that you had to win. And here we are looking at the Lions at 6-4. I got Detroit. As a matter of fact, let me just go ahead and lock this one. Can I do that, guys? Can I just go ahead and lock this one here? I think this is going to be my lock here. Detroit probably beats the brakes off these guys.
Oh, I'll leave it up there and hit the drum roll one more time.
Okay.
Because I am locking in as well. I will say to the Giants, again, I want to give them a little credit. They could be one of these spoiler teams down the stretch. The last 2 weeks, they played the Bears to 24-20, who's a playoff team in first place right now. And the Packers, they led them for most of the game before Jordan Love came back and got that win. So they're hanging around. But you mentioned it, Jane. Dan Campbell's got to be pissed off. First of all, Gene, we love Dan Campbell, but some of these fourth downs, we got to calm down because it's getting a little out of hand. And I love it too, but it's getting a little crazy, and they're putting them in a situation where, like you said, they could be looking in on the outside of this playoffs. Mm-hmm. Personally, as a Panthers fan, now that I finally get to look at these standings, I'm hoping some of these teams lose, like the Lions. But I'm locking this in. I don't see how they lose at home. This is basically a must-win game for the Detroit Lions.
I agree.
I'm not going to lock it in like you guys. The Giants are peskily good. Mike Kaepernick taking over the head coach role. He looked pretty good as the HC, right? Jameis actually didn't look terrible. He was Jameis. He made some Jameis throws for sure. But with Jameis Winston, you never know what you're going to get, right? Every week can be very different. He could throw for 6 touchdowns and no picks just as easy as 6 picks. I think this is going to be a close game, but I'm also going Detroit here.
Now, let me say one thing before we move on, Gene. I believe I have something here written down on the sheet last week from Jacob that said to all the prop bettors, please, you better bet whatever you have on Darius Slayton and the over. And I'm looking at the box score, and I don't even think he registered a stat.
I don't know if he played. Yeah, no, he did not. Tyrone Tracy had a great game. Jameis was throwing it to people I've never heard of before.
So we won't count that prop against your overall record of games, but I just want to, Gene, I had to throw that out there. He said take the over, and then the guy doesn't register a stat in the game.
I don't know what happened.
That was the perfect setup. I'm sorry, Jacob. I mean, he's got you on that one, man.
Sorry, y'all know I take notes.
I would have lost money with the rest of y'all. I would have bet it, and that dude would have hung a goose egg on all.
And Jacob, when you make comments like that, that's cause for concern, David. We got to sound the siren.
Yeah, do you have a Davis Mills prop that you want to throw out there for the fans? I'm on Davis Mills tonight. Sorry.
Hey, you keep hating on Dougie when he beats the Bills. We'll circle back.
I will come back with a formal apology to Jacob next week. Write it down if Dougie Mills beats the Bills.
All right, guys, let's move it right along here. We're going to keep it in the NFC North. How about that? So you got the Vikings, the 4-6 Vikings at the 6-3-1 Packers. This should be a pretty good game because any matchup in the NFC North is a good matchup. But I think this is a Packers must win, and I think the season may be over for Minnesota. Your thoughts, Jacob?
I think both of these teams suck. I don't know. JJ McCarthy's not everything. He's not the Lord and Savior that Minnesota thought he was going to be when they brought him in. And the Packers are super inconsistent, right? Like there's no way to get a tell on them. Josh Jacobs is going to be out. Their passing game is up and down. Jordan Love is up and down. Their defense is up and down. Mike is good, but their defense is up and down. I'm taking the Packers at Lambeau. Like you said, Gene, this is a must win to stay competitive in the North. And Minnesota just, I don't know. Their defense is good. It feels like a wasted year. It feels like if they would have traded for a guy like Sam Darnold at the deadline, they could be Super Bowl contenders. But outside of that move, like the Minnesota Vikings just don't have it for me. So yeah, give me the Packers at Lambeau this week.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the only thing that you talk about the Packers being inconsistent, that is true. But Jordan Love might have found something last week. I mean, he came back from kind of getting knocked around in that game and made some big time throws to lead his team back to a win. And Gene, you're right. They got to have this win to stay in the fight at the top. Mm-hmm. And I'll give JJ McCarthy credit for that late touchdown he made to give them the lead. But the rest of the game, guys, was ugly. 16 of 32. Didn't he have 50% completion rate with 2 interceptions? And I know this is technically like J.J. McCarthy's first rookie season because he didn't play last year, but I think there has to be some long-term concerns about whether this is the guy. And when you have proven receivers like Justin Jefferson and Addison and Hawkinson at the tight end spot, like these guys are ready for somebody to throw them the ball. And Gene, you can make your weekly comment about how it was one of the worst moves ever to get rid of Sam Darnold. But the Vikings really got some long thoughts to think about who their quarterback of the future is. Really, so I'm taking Green Bay.
Yeah, you taking Green Bay. I'm taking Green Bay also, but not without a comment here because, look, man, I don't know what they saw. And, I mean, I'm not going to say that J.J. McCarthy is not a good quarterback. He's just not a good quarterback in this system. And you got Kevin O'Connell, who is a quarterback.
If you're not in this system, I don't know where you're going to be good at.
Then I don't know where you're going to fit in at. So they have to – and I heard an interview with him this morning where he's talking about, you know, how his posture is when he releases the ball and things that he needs to work on. Hell, it's week 12. You can't be talking about those kind of things this late in the season. If you don't know how to stand and throw the damn ball now, you never will know how.
It is worth noting he's got ice in his veins in fourth quarters. He's a great clutch quarterback in the fourth quarter. He's just dog shit for the first.
No, the problem is I was going to say, but when you're 16 of 32, you're not going to have many chances in the fourth quarter.
Hello. And look, man, you hold on to Sam Darnold. I don't care. Look, what the Rams did to him, the Rams got his number, okay? But Sam Darnold is still a good damn quarterback.
Yeah, he is.
Let's move on to the next one here. We are going with whoa. Now this is going to be a good one. Okay. 8-2 versus 5-5. Now look, it looks like it's a misprint, don't it? It looked like the Colts should be 5-5, right? and the Chiefs should be 8-2 coming off a Super Bowl appearance. Guys, season could be over for KC. If they lose this game, their run might be over. Indy, they're coming off an extended bye. Remember, they hadn't played since week 10 when they were over in Berlin taking on Atlanta. So you're talking about being prepared for this matchup. Dustin, you got your hands on your head there. Are you making your pick? Are you thinking about it?
Listen, man, this game. And let me go ahead and throw it out there that once again, kind of how it was last week, that if you remember correctly, the Chiefs were favored in Denver, lost that game. We all picked them. They are favored by 3.5 at home against the 8-2 Indianapolis Colts. So they are the favorites. Colts, like you said, coming off that bye, I think they are a contender. But damn it, I can't quit the Kansas City Chiefs. But I will make a declaration. If they don't win this game, I am all the way out on the Kansas City Chiefs. But at home, Arrowhead, sometimes that extended bye is not really a good thing for teams, especially when they've been rolling. The Colts were on a roll. And I mean, come on. Travis Kelce set the record last week for whatever it was for Chiefs touchdowns for tight end or whatever. I can't remember what the record was. But Patrick Mahomes, somebody step up and show me why you are supposed to be the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm taking the Chiefs. I don't know why, but this is my last chance for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Jacob.
So throw the upset graphic.
Oh,
Gene.
I knew he wasn't going to do it after he took a chance on him last week.
Yeah.
All right.
And let me tell you, so the biggest reason I'm doing this, because this was arguably the hardest game for me to pick this week.
Yeah, it's tough.
Because the Chiefs are at Arrowhead, right? The Chiefs are still good. They do suck.
4-1 at home.
Yeah, they are still good. My big thing here is Travarius Ward came back for the Colts. That bye week did allow them to get healthy. Travarius Ward and Sauce Gardner give them a very strong tandem at corner that takes away some of Kansas City's weapons, right? The Colts defense is not bad, right? And the Chiefs run game has been very up and down. Pacheco's back. Pacheco's healthy, but Pacheco hasn't been a game changer, right? And I think Jonathan Taylor's going to be able to play admirably well here. I think this Colts offense will be able to play admirably well here. And outside of Nick Bolton and George Karlaftis, I can't name one player on the Chiefs defense and Chris Jones that are having like incredible seasons, right? Like they're you don't have that guy this year. It's just not happening. So I like the Colts to go in and upset Kansas City in Kansas City and knock Kansas City out of the playoffs, opening the door for the Houston Texans to get to the wild.
Oh, there it is, Gene. There it is.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, look, Jacob, I'm not going to go that far. Look, I had to think about this game too because, to be in alignment with my prediction that the Broncos would win that division. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to see KC lose, but man, I don't know. We've never seen this team with their backs up against the wall like they're going to be this week, okay? And I don't know. I mean, look, Dustin, I'm with you. They lose this game, then it's over. That run is over. That dynasty or whatever you want to call it is over. But I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs too because I like to see how they're going to do under pressure. They're at home. Arrowhead is the toughest stadium to play in the NFL. Yeah. So. And this is going to be interesting. And I know you like this because wait a minute now, Jacob, you would want Kansas City to win because if Houston is going to have a chance in the AFC South, you don't need.
I think he realizes they're not catching the Colts.
Houston doesn't have a chance in the South, baby.
Okay.
Wild card. Yeah.
I mean, no, but not winning the South, but at least a wild card, right?
Yeah. Well, you know what? At the end of the day, I'd rather the dynasty end in Kansas City than for the Colts to lose and see the ability to stay in the run. I think it's time. It is time. Gosh darn it. And shout out Bobby for shouting me out for being excited about Dougie Mills, Stanford legend. It is time for Kansas City to lose. The Colts could be the team to do it. They're the team of prophecy, man. Am I a Colts fan? No. But it is awesome that it could happen.
I do think that the Chiefs maybe could slow down Taylor and make Daniel Jones have to make some plays, and we'll see what he can do. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, guys. Sam Darnold looks to rebound after week 11 loss to the Rams. I mean, that game just didn't turn out the way many of us thought it would. I mean, it was a close one, right? But Rams get the win over the Seahawks last week in that NFC West showdown. So now Sam Darnold, they played better on the road. I think we've said that a couple of times. This week they're going to the 1-9 Titans. These teams could be dangerous, but give me the Seahawks, and Sam Darnold has a field day.
Go ahead, Jacob.
Yeah, Sam Darnold threw 4 picks last week, and they lost by 2 points. There's no way, right? That the 1-9 teams can play upset, but it's not going to happen. Seattle is a very, very, very good team. Seattle is a 1B team in the NFC right now. Seattle all the way in this one. Sorry, Cam Ward.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the 13.5-point spread, I think I would like Seattle on. I think they're going to go in there and probably hang a 40 spot. I think Sam Darnold sat down in his locker after the game on Sunday and was like really pissed off about that performance, and then looked at his phone and goes, damn, we play the Titans this week. It's time for me to get back right. So I think he liked what he saw there. Huge day for the Seahawks, and they blow out the Titans.
Yep.
All right, guys, we are unanimous on that one. The next game we have is going to be the 6-4 Jacksonville Jaguars at the 3-7 Arizona Cardinals. I'm trying to see what the notes say. Well, must win for Jacksonville is what it says here.
Yeah.
Jacob?
Yeah, it is must win for Jacksonville. It's the only way they stay in it. And this would be a big game for Jacoby Brissett, right? For Arizona. There's already talks that Kyler might not be coming back. Jacoby, as much as I don't think he's the future, right? He could be that placeholder for them next season. He's got this great connection with Michael Wilson going on. They're on their, 57th running back this season. Amari DiMercardo just got put on IR, so no idea what they're doing at running back. Jacksonville wins this game. Their defense is better. Marvin Harrison's hurt. DiMercardo's out. Trey Benson's out. The other 13 running backs for Arizona are out. So Jacksonville should win this one. Jacksonville will win this one, and they'll find some other way to screw their season up down the road.
He's just saying that again, so he hopes that Houston can get a wild
card. Bills can get into the wild.
Listen, Gene, we're gonna keep losing subscribers if Jacob keeps saying Doug.
Oh,
we've got to get that stopped.
We can't let that happen.
So listen, I mean, as long as Jacoby Brissett keeps feeding Trey McBride, I'm going to be happy on my fantasy team. I'll say that. But I think we got to stop and give the Jacksonville Jaguars some props for a second. That might have been one of the more crazier scores that we saw last week.
Yeah.
They beat down the Chargers 35-6. Like, it wasn't close from the jump. And again, I'm not saying that puts them in this contending conversation, but I didn't see that coming from the Chargers after they started playing better football again. So you got to give them props. And I just think, like you said, they need a win. And the Cardinals are just kind of a mess right now. They can't stop anybody. So give me the Jaguars to get a win.
Yeah, give me the Jaguars too, guys, because Dustin, I agree with you. Look, after sitting there so far a couple of weeks ago, watching them kind of manhandle the Pittsburgh Steelers, and to go over to Duval County and just lay an egg almost. I mean, 6 points, really. I mean, they really got manhandled from start to finish. So give me Jacksonville as well. All right, guys, this next game here. Oh, boy.
Sorry, Bobby.
Here we go. Well, I tell you what. You got a 2-8 team versus another 2-8 team. So this is Browns at the Raiders. Raiders get another home game at Allegiant Field, but Shadir Sanders expect to see a lot of Browns jerseys in Vegas this week. Yes. I mean, they're going to be all over the place.
Colorado jerseys, everything. Yep.
Yeah, expect to see that in Las Vegas. But guys, let me go ahead and start this pickoff, okay? Because I am going. This is going to be. I'm trying to see. Do I have it as a lock?
It's I have it as 4 points. Raiders are favored by 4 points.
I got it as a lock, so it wouldn't be an upset. So give me the lock. I think the Raiders. Look. I mean, I know this whole team seems to be sort of just. It's just a crazy Raiders team with unusual people running things. You got Pete Carroll, who's I love Pete Carroll. He's a USC guy, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not a fan of Chip Kelly, though, so I don't know. Geno Smith, Pete Carroll says he's going to stick with him. So, look, they've lost 4 in a row now. I got to think they get this win. So that's my lock of the week right there. Raiders over the Browns.
Go ahead, Jacob.
I don't think the Raiders stand much of a chance to win another game this season after losing Austin Powers Jackson. Throw the upset graphic on the screen.
No, we going there. Oh, we really going there. Bobby, are you listening?
I'm sorry, Bobby, man. I can't do it this week. So we opened this show talking about the Shedeur Sandals nonsense, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm one of the only people I've heard say it. I think Shedeur played way better than the stats tell. You watch those drop passes. He threw a dot to the end zone that ended up getting dropped that would have won the game for the Cleveland Browns. He had not taken reps with the first team. He's been doing it all week. I can't say enough. Cleveland's starting receivers are terrible. It is the 1B to the Bills for one of the worst receiving cores in the league, right? It is not good. David Njoku, however, is very good. Harold Fanning, however, is very good. Quinshon Judkins can be good. And I think Cleveland takes this dub in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I need one of those scrolls across the bottom of the screens like that puts like a notation of why I'm picking this. Like, this is for entertainment purposes only, because can you imagine if the Browns win this game and Shedeur plays halfway decent, like First Take, Get Up. I mean, all these shows they're not gonna lead with the top teams in the league. They're gonna lead with the 2-8, 3-9, 3-8 Cleveland Browns and Shedeur Sanders. And I just, for entertainment purposes only, I think it'd be fun to see. And the Raiders, Pete Carroll's got to be sitting there going, why the hell did I come out of retirement for this?
Right.
Like, I just don't understand what's going on there, Bobby. I'm sorry. It's just not good. Geno's not good. And the one thing we can talk about Shedeur all we want, that Browns defense is very good. And they kept them in that Baltimore game. And so put the upset graphic on the screen again. I'm with Jacob, Gene.
Let's go.
I am rolling with Shedeur Sanders and the Cleveland Browns for entertainment purposes only.
For entertainment purposes.
Whoa.
And for all the betting,
because Gene, we're in the media, you know it. If he wins and he plays halfway decent, he's leading the show for all the shows come Monday morning.
Absolutely.
Well,
all the betting fans out there, hold on, get this. Put every penny you have on
here we go.
Skip Bayless flipping a cop car. If Shedeur Sanders wins this game, Skip Bayless is so high on Shedeur, he's going to be out in the streets burning the towns red like a Philadelphia Eagles fan, just flipping everything in his vision. It's going to be great.
Dustin, you asked for that graphic. I think they were able to do something for you. This is why you're really picking them.
Yes, for entertainment purposes only, because Cleveland sucks. So you're right.
Because Cleveland sucks. Okay,
exactly.
All right. There we go. That's why Dustin's going there.
You know, you should, because both teams suck. That's why whoever, just pick one.
Oh, that's too funny. That's too funny. All right, so. Well, moving it right along here. Are you guys ready for the Dallas Cowboys? I mean, come on now. Look,
I don't know if I am or not.
This is not just the Dallas Cowboys. This is the Eagles and the Cowboys in a great NFC East showdown. Now, let me kind of recap this. The Eagles defeated the Cowboys 24-20 to open the season. You guys remember?
Mm-hmm.
I think Jalen Hurts had 2 touchdowns in that victory. So this is good. Look, Cowboys big win last week there in Vegas, despite the little mini suspension there, in-game suspension with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. So Cowboys 4-5-1. Nothing would make them more happier than to get the 5-5-1 and beat the most hated team in their division, other than the Commanders, the Eagles. So Dustin, what do you think?
Man, I don't know. Let me just start off by saying, like, the Eagles, again, was it, like, impressive last week? Yes and no. Like, again, the offense wasn't great. The tush push even got stopped a couple of times. But that defense, man, we were wondering coming into the season, like, they lost a lot of people, and now that defense is just absolutely locked down. And it's unbelievable what they're doing. On the flip side, though, I mean, Dallas is playing some good ball. I can't believe I'm doing this. This is for entertainment purposes only.
Wow.
Because if somehow Shedeur wins and somehow the Cowboys upset the Eagles, I'm not sure where ESPN's going to want to go first on Monday morning. So, Gene, put the upset graphic on the screen.
Oh, are you serious?
Denny Sharma, this one's for you. For entertainment purposes only, I'm taking the Dallas Cowboys. And my buddy Joel, who's an Eagles fan, is going to love that, because anytime I pick against the Eagles, they win. I picked Detroit last week. They won. But watching George Pickens play, as long as he makes the meetings and watching this offense, like at home,
They're good.
The Eagles are due for a slip up. These one-score games, they're due for a slip up. And if the Cowboys can score some points and get a lead, I think it's going to be tough for the Eagles to score points because they really struggled on that side of the ball on offense. So I'm taking the Cowboys for the upset.
Jacob.
I'm giving y'all a chance.
Howie Roseman is a one of one.
Oh, he's a wizard. Yeah.
The Eagles made the most impactful trade at the deadline. It was not Shaheed to Seattle. It was not any of the other ones. The Eagles made the most impactful trade at the deadline. It was trading the Miami Dolphins for Jalen Phillips, who has been an absolute wrecking ball. And to your testament, Dustin, you said their defense has been locked down. Jalen Phillips has led the charge since he landed in Philadelphia. And I think Jalen Phillips is going to be a problem for Dallas. And I am taking Philadelphia for the sweep this season. No, nothing bad to say about Dallas outside of the fact that their defense is inconsistent. I mean, that offense is very, very, very good.
Defense played a little better with the additions last week.
They also
they did.
Anybody of note.
It was the Raiders.
Sorry, I just took Shadur Sanders to beat them. So, and the effort of consistency here, I do think Philadelphia wins this game. I do think that Dallas could be good down the road sometime in the next 25 years, but I don't.
Oh my goodness, another 25? Are you kidding me?
It can never be too long.
All right, Justin, you changed my pick here.
Ooh,
let's go, Gene.
Let's go.
Yeah, I had Eagles on my selection, but I'm changing this pick to the Dallas Cowboys.
Let's go, Gene.
I am, because I tell you what, guys, I'm thinking about. Look, man, I don't know where their offense ranked. They got to be a top 10 offense. I mean, they just have to be.
Yeah.
And looking at George Pickens. I mean, they did this on the road in Vegas. They're going to be hyped to show off that new defense at home in front of AT&T Stadium there, and against the Eagles. I think I always pick them to split anyway, and I don't know if the Eagles are going to sweep them. So I'm changing my pick to the Dallas Cowboys.
I love it.
All
Jacob likes it too, but I love it
too. This of all the islands y'all have left me on, this one I feel better about than Mo.
Well, hey, you guys always leave me on one, so I tell you what. Now this game right here, oh my goodness, there are no notes, okay, other than 2-8 versus 3-7. Okay, I have no notes.
The only note is that Michael Penix unfortunately is out for the season with a partially torn ACL and is having surgery. And I don't know if people remember this, but that's the third time with an ACL. So a guy you drafted in the top 10, a guy who, was already struggling this year. Like, we talk about other teams and their long-term future for quarterback. You got to start wondering about Michael Penix and the long-term future of his quarterback situation with the Falcons. Kirk Cousins is back in.
Yeah.
That's the only note I got. I did for entertainment purposes only for the last two games. My asterisk for this game would be the who cares game of the week.
I mean,
no idea what to do here. I'm taking the Saints at home. Why the hell not? That's my pick. That's all.
So is Kirk Cousins?
Cousins is starting. The Saints are 1.5 point favorites at home. Kirk Cousins is not the same Kirk Cousins, so I'll go with Tyler Shaw and the Saints.
He's not hurt. I'm surprised at that.
Oh yeah, Drake London's out as well.
Yeah. Oh. Drake London is out too.
So guess who the number one option is, Gene? That would be Kyle.
Boy, you just made that pick a lot easier for me. I'm taking the Saints.
Okay. Jacob, I got the Saints too. Who you got?
Hey, throw that upset graphic on the screen, boys.
Oh man,
he's riding with Kirk Cousins.
Kyle Pitts, baby.
Oh Lord.
Wait a minute. Did you not learn anything from me with Kyle Pitts?
No, it's not Kyle Pitts. It's Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier. That's it. If Kirk Cousins can just not play like he did when he came in last week, which Kirk Cousins, to what you just said, Dustin, Captain Kirk looked awful. He was throwing balls into windows that he couldn't have hit in his prime, and it didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
If he can be a game manager against the lowly Saints, right, I think that Atlanta can actually win this game if they lean on their run game and don't abandon it at the end of the first quarter. I think Atlanta should win. Defense is better. Run game is better. Receivers are not now. But, Atlanta should win this game, whether Penix plays or not.
Okay.
All right, guys. Moving right along here, we have our Sunday
Ooh.
night NBC game of the week, and man, we're going from one. I mean, this is a good matchup here. This is a hell
one
of
of
a
the games
matchup
of the
here.
week. Yeah.
And you got Buccaneers, LA getting another home game there, SoFi, versus a division leading opponent. So there's two division leading opponent games head up this week. We talked about that one. So here's the other one here, because I think the Buccaneers are still first place, right? In the
By
NFC South.
half a game.
Half a game, I know. And then and the Rams are still holding on there. Rams have won 5 consecutive games, guys, which is the longest streak in the NFC. Not to mention they got that they ranked second in NFL scoring defense. So I tell you what, I can just go ahead and make my pick here. I think, having said all of that, I'm thinking Baker Mayfield might wake up Sunday morning, even though this is a night game, feeling kind of dangerous, you know.
Oh.
And because of that, I got the upset. I got the Buccaneers winning,
Interesting.
and in an upset. I know you don't want to hear that, Dustin.
No, that makes me feel good because every time you pick something for the Panthers around close to them, it always goes good for the Panthers.
Yeah, but see, we haven't got to the Panthers yet.
I know, but this will help.
All right, so that's my pick. So go ahead, Jacob.
Sean Tucker's an absolute beast, right? Rashad White, good pass receiving running back. Bucky Irving has one hand around my fantasy team's throat, and with the other hand, he is punching my fantasy team in the forehead repeatedly, sitting on my IR all season. I like the Rams here. The Rams are a very good team. I picked Seattle last week. I believe in Seattle. It was a 2-point game despite 4 interceptions. Right, the Rams do have the best team in the NFC. They settled it last week. The Rams do have the best team in the NFC.
Thank you.
They're 1A to Seattle's 1B. That is a very tight.
So you have the Eagles 1C?
I have them 2. That is Philadelphia's offense can't keep up. However, the Rams do have the best team in the NFC, and this is of no fault of if Tampa Bay were healthy, right? Mike Evans weren't dead, if Chris Godwin weren't dead, if Hassan Reddick weren't dead, if Bucky Irving weren't dead. If Tampa Bay was healthy, I'd say this would probably end in a tie, just to see if I could hit it on like if we could have with Green Bay and Dallas. I think that this would be a very even game. Those things are not true. Those guys are out. And the Rams are healthy. The Rams are hot. Sean McVay is amazing. He is an absolute wizard. Matt Stafford should be your league leading MVP right now. Give me the Rams at home against the banged up Buccaneers.
The one thing I took from your statement is the Rams are the best team in the NFC. And I think the Rams, if you put it to my head right now, I think the Rams are the best team in the NFL. I'm going to go ahead and put that out there on both sides of the ball. You mentioned Matt Stafford's numbers, 2,557 yards, 27 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions.
Crazy.
Now, we know back in the day that Stafford's a gunslinger. He can turn the ball over. He's thrown 2 interceptions. And this defense, we don't talk about it. It might be the best defense. It might be the best defense that Stafford's ever played with, and that's saying something because he played with Aaron Donald back in the day for that Super Bowl. So it's unbelievable what they're doing. And on the flip side, you mentioned it, the Bucs are just completely banged up. They're still the favorite to win the division, but this is how my Sunday night's going to go. I'm going to sit on the couch. I'm going to watch this game. The Buccaneers are going to lose to go to 6-5, which will make them 6-5, and the Panthers 6-5. And when we go into this Monday night football game, the Panthers will be playing for first place in the NFC South. Give me the Rams to win the game.
Okay, all right. Well, I tell you what, I am going to let you have the honors of introducing
Let's go.
The Monday night matchup here. Take it away.
Because let me say, I need to Google it, and I should have Googled this before the show. I don't think y'all realize it's been a long, long damn time since the Panthers have been in a primetime game. Not a Thursday night game, a Sunday night football game, or a Monday night football game. And they finally have it here against their former teammate, Christian McCaffrey, and the San Francisco 49ers. When they put this game on the schedule to start the season, they probably didn't think this was going to be one of their better matchups, but they go from a game against the Raiders and Cowboys, who both were struggling, to two teams who are battling for playoff contention. And I mentioned it before. There is a good chance come Monday night that the Panthers are playing for first place in the NFC South, and the 49ers. they're hanging right there at 7-4. They're playing to hang in there in that wild card race as well. So this is a huge game in the NFC. Can we take a second to talk about Bryce Young? A franchise
Absolutely.
record 448 yards. Franchise record 448 yards and 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. And if people watch that game, he played on one ankle. I didn't think he was coming back in the game. He came back in and dominated. Rico Dowdle averaged 2.4 yards a carry. So for all these people that said Rico in the running game was carrying this team, Bryce Young put them on their back.
Unbelievable.
And how about the rookie Tedero McMillan? He's now 6th in the NFL in receiving yards. He had 8 catches for 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. This team is playing complementary football. It's always close games. It's always going to have some ugly spots. They were down 21-7 in that game to the Falcons, and they battled back. But this team is finding ways to win. And I don't feel good about this. This is why I said it, Jacob. This is a 1,000,000%. I'm all about asterisks tonight. This is a homer pick. Put it on the screen. The 49ers will probably win this game because they're at home. Brock Purdy's back. He played pretty well. George Kittle's playing well. McCaffrey's being McCaffrey. But I'm just riding so high right now. I'm used to the Panthers winning games 14-10 and Bryce Young's throwing for 150 yards. He threw for 448. I'm riding high. Give me the Panthers. Put the upset graphic on the screen. Give me the Carolina Panthers. They are 7-point underdogs on the road on Monday Night Football.
You swinging for the fences here?
I'm swinging for the fences, and I can't wait to finally have Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, Joe Buck, and Troy Aikman talk about my team in a national spotlight. They finally earned that, and I'm just happy that things are going in the right directions. I'm swinging for the fences. Give me the Panthers.
I hear you, Dustin. I get it, man. I totally get it because that 440.
It's been a while. It's been a while, Gene.
And I know
it's been a while for the Panthers.
It has been. It's been a while, and I know for a fact nobody in our fantasy football league had Bryce Young as their quarterback because that was a sure win.
Yeah.
He went over the anticipated 200 yards, and we give you bonus points for that. I mean, I don't know what his fantasy numbers were, but anyway.
And the interesting thing about the race with the Buccaneers before y'all two make your picks is they haven't played each other yet. So this is tight, and they have both of their games down the stretch of this season. So
yeah, that's kind of like the Steelers and the Ravens. So that could be interesting for the division title. Look, I hear what you're saying.
I know where you're going, Gene.
I'm going to pick the 49ers because I just think the 49ers know that if 3 teams are gonna come from the NFC West, then they got to win. No one's trying to make things easier for the Rams, and I know the Seahawks and the 49ers are gonna try to keep pace because they know for right now they got 3 teams in. So I'm gonna take the 49ers.
If Fred Warner weren't on the shelf, I'd be a lot more confident in this pick. I am not taking Carolina, Dustin. However,
that I'm fine with that because every time y'all don't take them, y'all both had Atlanta last week. So
the only reason I'm not taking Carolina is because I'm worried about Bryce Young's ankle. I am worried about it. Because defense is much better than Atlanta's, and I do think that they can get after him, and that ankle's going to be a big deal. Ted McMillan's playing out of his mind. Coker has been very clutch when he needs to be. Rico has been good, played awful last week. Chuba's a non-factor now. They have a tight end. Carolina does, that kid. They have a young tight end that's looked good. And
they had Mitchell Evans from Notre Dame, and then they even had Tommy Tremble, who's also from Notre Dame, who caught the 54-yard pass in overtime. So
Tremble's the one. Carolina has a squad. This is not their year. I think Carolina wins their division next season, potentially. Carolina's defense is very good, and that offense is putting something together.
Yeah.
I am taking San Francisco here. I think CMC is going to have a good day. Brock Purdy looked a lot better than good last week. Brock Purdy came back and looked fantastic. George Kittle was happy that he got his quarterback back, and I'm all aboard the Mac Jones train, right? He's probably going to be the starting quarterback in Minnesota next year, one way or another. But San Francisco is a good team. San Francisco needs to win this game to stay relevant within their own division because they're in the toughest division in football. 49ers.
Yeah, I don't disagree with what you said, Jacob. I think y'all heard me say this entire year. I think the Panthers are 1 to 2 years away from being great.
Yes.
And I said this year that they were going to be around a 500 team, which is a huge improvement from what they've done. And that's what they're doing. So we'll see if they can somehow pull the upset this week and maybe expedite those plans some for the playoffs. But it's just good that in week 12, their fans can finally say they're in the mix. Because I would say the last 6 or 7 years at this point of the season, the Panthers would already be talking draft talk. So I'm happy for the Panthers fans. The city deserves it. And Gene, you mentioned Bryce Young. Like, one last thing before we wrap this up. Y'all remember 2 weeks ago when they played the Saints, and that was one of the worst performances he's had against a 1-8 football team. We were getting to a crossroad where this is his 3rd year, and they're trying to decide about him long term. And when you go out there and throw for a franchise record on a hurt ankle, and the guys talk about how you come back in the game, they didn't think you were going to come back. That goes a long way for his future here in Carolina.
He had a Kobe moment. That was Bryce Young's Kobe Bryant moment.
Yeah. And you know what, guys, it's. So I mean, for some players it comes early, some players it comes later. You know, as long as it happens, and I mean that was monumental. I can just imagine fans watching that game, man. They got to see a show. Yeah, and I mean I like that. He's a great kid, so I enjoyed seeing that. Well, guys, that's going to wrap it up here. Now I do want to say that our platform here, StreamYard, they do a lot of different, they release a lot of updates and changes. So I don't know what we look like on your phones or your TVs, but I do know that they've made a change to where if you get the rectangular screen, but you also get like the cell phone view.
Yeah, I've got both of them on my screen right now.
I do.
Okay, so I mean, I know I had some my buddy Joe had said something about that. I didn't know because I am going to put this up here, and this is look, subscribe to the show if you like the show. I mean, look, we got a couple of more weeks. The playoffs is going to be even better because we might be on the road again for the playoffs. But leave comments, which you already have done. Share. We've seen a lot of that too. But mostly subscribe and just tell other people. This is one of the most accurate damn prediction shows that you're going to find anywhere, okay?
Yeah. Guys, help us out. Let's get that push to 1,000 before the playoffs start. And then, like you said, the playoffs are going to be on a whole nother level. And then don't forget, Gene and I were talking last week, we're getting in the middle of NBA talk here. The Sports Kings is always about the NFL, but they're also a Sports King show. So we're going to throw that in too. So share these with everybody. And we're close to that 1,000 mark. I'd love to push that and get that 1,000 mark before the playoffs.
We have to. I mean, because we do have a good product and our numbers are pretty damn solid. So, all right, guys. Well, tomorrow night, Jacob, I know you're going to be occupied there.
Oh, I will be texting Jacob when Davis Mills throws that first interception.
NRG Stadium here. Baby. I cannot wait. But anyway, hey, great games. No more overseas games. Thank goodness. And I know that Dustin had already mentioned this one last time before we go. I think what were the 4 teams? The Commanders, Dolphins?
Commanders, Dolphins, Chargers, and Broncos.
Chargers and Broncos all have a bye. So if you play fantasy football, you got any of those players in your, it's almost like a not like a mini Biomageddon, but still it's
crunch time in our league too, boys.
And it is. And you know what? There are some teams with a week 14 bye. Now tell me if
the Panthers have not had their bye week. They have their bye week in 2 weeks.
Who?
The Panthers.
I mean, that is an advantage to me, especially with this, getting ready. You got a bye week, 3 weeks before the playoffs start? Hello, come on now.
Yeah, it's unbelievable that week 14 is the Panthers bye.
Hey,
that's incredible.
Shout out to Jacob Meadows' fantasy team in Gene's league. Y'all were rolling on me pretty bad.
Yeah, what a good comeback there, huh?
Back up. I went 1-4 to start the season. I'm at 500 right now.
Yeah, and you're still behind me, Jacob.
Hey, this is going to be a crazy league because someone in our Sports Kings Fantasy Football League is going to either be 500 or below.
Yeah,
maybe the 4th spot.
Dustin's the king of losing games by less than 1 point. I'm creeping.
Yeah, I know that was crazy.
Once.
Bobby, thanks for joining us, man. We'll see you back here next week, folks, on the Sports Kings Week 13 NFL Prediction Show. Have a great weekend.